All right, guys, so here's the deal for the day. Here's the deal. What we're going to do is we're going to do a GameCube game tier list. Now, tier list is not a very new thing to do. People have done tier lists of a bunch of stuff before, but we're going to be doing GameCube game tier lists. I'm going to be picking some of my favorite games from my childhood, some of the most best-selling games of the Nintendo GameCube. Mostly going to be sticking to Nintendo games, though. Nintendo games that are made by Nintendo with a couple of alternate picks in there. Some of my favorites we're going to see, but there's about 25 to 30 games I'm going to be ranking today. We're going to see, maybe you guys think my tier list is completely wrong. Maybe you think my opinions are out of this world, but we're going to be ranking some of the best GameCube games of all time today. So let's get into it. So as you can see here, we got our GameCube games over here in our tier maker. About 27 games here to rank. We got 27 games. These are some of the classics I think I've picked out. Mostly Nintendo stuff, a couple of non-Nintendo stuff that I feel like deserve the spot in my opinion. Now, we're going to have our tiers here. We're going to have S through D, but I'm going to change D to never played because some of these games I've never played. Some of these games I've honest to God never played, and I know some of you are probably going to be mad at me for never playing some of these games, and I'll get to those when we get there, but yeah, I've never played some of these, so I think it's only right that I put them in a never played tier because I don't know how to rank them accurately is all, really. All right, so these are not really organized in any particular way. They're not organized in any particular way here. But what we got first is Animal Crossing. Fitting because we're listening to an Animal Crossing song right off the bat. Now, I actually think the OG Animal Crossing, I think it's fantastic. It's something not as good as like New Leaf or New Horizons, but part of me does love the simplicity. How there's not a ton to do. There's things from the OG Animal Crossing, like the dump and whatnot, that I absolutely love. I love the police station. I think there's a certain kind of charm to the OG Animal Crossing that, like, you have the horned hat and everything. The character customization isn't as good. Maybe some of it is nostalgia, sure, but I think there's a certain kind of charm to the OG Animal Crossing. There's just something about it. There's something about it. I think it's OG. I feel like some of KK songs in the OG were some of the best. So we're going to be going, and I'm going to be putting Animal Crossing in A. I think Animal Crossing deserves an A tier. I think it's a fantastic game all around. I think you could have many hours in Animal Crossing alone. I think it deserves the A tier. You know, I want to give all these games S tier. I love the GameCube. I should note, I love the GameCube, man. The GameCube was the first console I ever owned. My brother and I put tons of hours on a bunch of these GameCube games. I grew up playing the GameCube. It's a great time. I absolutely love the GameCube. So a lot of these games are just childhood classics to me, and I want to put all of them in S, but I can't. Not all of them, honestly, are worth an S tier. With that being noted now, the next game, we have Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Now, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is one of the best-selling games, I think, on the GameCube. I think it's around top 20. Now, many of you maybe didn't play it, and it also recently got remastered for the Switch. Now, I heard the remaster wasn't as good and never really touched it, TBH. The multiplayer was a bit odd to play with Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Now, if you ever wanted to play the multiplayer, I mean, you needed to prepare an entire day ahead. Everyone needed to have their Game Boy SPs charged. You needed to have all the cables. You know, you needed to be prepared. It was like, all right, boys. You want to play this? You have to do a whole session like a day. This is how I played it anyway. You needed to grind it out. It wasn't like you could boot it up for an hour. You needed to get ready to start a new town, new characters. I mean, it was the whole shebang, and you're going to get through like 3 or 4 years in a sitting. And I've only beaten it a couple times. It's a pretty hard game, but I think it's super, super good. Now, where do we put it in the rankings? I think Crystal Chronicles was fantastic. I think it was one of the greatest games on the GameCube. Absolutely wonderful. I loved it. Now, I do think Crystal Chronicles deserves an A tier as well. I'm not gonna lie. I do think Crystal Chronicles deserves an A tier. I feel like I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy. I haven't played a bunch of the Final Fantasy games. Maybe Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles went under the radar, but I think it's fantastic. I think it's so good. I love this game. It's definitely one of my favorite games ever. A lot of good memories with this. It's just over good. Just all around amazing game. Just amazing game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. Solo is still a great time. Now we get into some Mario sports games. Now, there is a new Mario Golf coming out in June for the Switch, and I'm hyped for that. I think that Mario Golf looks great. It looks like there's a lot of action, a lot of stuff to be done in the new Mario Golf. Now, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, on the other hand, some of you might have some fond memories of Toadstool Tour, but my friends and I, we used to have game nights at my friends every Friday, every Saturday, like a lot of us did. You know, we go over and play some games. And, you know, sometimes we'd get sick of our normal Melee, our normal Mario Party, and we switch it up. And one day we tried to play Toadstool Tour, and none of us really had many memories with it. And I gotta say, Toadstool Tour was trash. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, I think, was garbage. I feel like none of us could figure out how to play it. Like, the controls were bad. We were overshooting, undershooting all the time. Like, and nothing made sense. Nothing made sense about Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. I don't even think we got through 3 holes. We decided to shut it off right away. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. So that's why I'm giving Mario Golf Toadstool Tour a C tier. I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's very good. I really hope the new Mario Golf for the Switch is amazing, but I don't think it's good. I don't know how you guys feel about Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. I don't know if you remember. I don't think it was good. I don't think it was good. Oh yeah, I should say this too. If I miss any games, please let me know. I'll try to add them. I tried to pick some of my classics. I went through all my GameCube games that I had, and it's kind of weird. I feel like I looked through all my GameCube games, and maybe there's something missing. I feel like I had way more. Maybe I'm missing some. I don't know. Now we got Super Monkey Ball 2. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever played Super Monkey Ball 2, but Super Monkey Ball 2 is, honestly, in my eyes, I think Super Monkey Ball 2 is an absolute masterpiece. And that's why I think Super Monkey Ball 2 deserves our first S tier. Super Monkey Ball 2 is so good. I feel like everything about it. The story mode's good. All levels are good. The mini games were good. You could just do so much stuff. Like the multiplayer was good. You could do the monkey bowling, monkey golf, monkey billiards was so good. Everything was fantastic. I loved it. I love everything about Super Monkey Ball 2. When you get to master mode, you're like, holy dude, there's master mode in this game. Like, it's just crazy. And I think Super Monkey Ball 2 is one of the best. Like, getting to master mode for the first time, you realize I've accomplished nothing. I've accomplished nothing so far in my life. Master mode only has 10 levels, and it's going to take me 5 times the amount of time that it took me to beat Expert ever. It's crazy. Not to mention that you need to beat Expert mode without using a continue. It's crazy. Super Monkey Ball 2 is fantastic. All right, now we get to Metroid Prime. And now we're getting to Metroid Prime, right? And you might give me some weird champs here about Metroid Prime. But to be honest, Metroid Prime, it's something that I never really played. So yeah, I can't really rate it that much. I can't really rate Metroid Prime. It's a game that we never really got into. My brother and I, we never picked it up. One of my good friends raves about it all the time. I feel like I've only ever heard good things about Metroid Prime. So if I had to guess, I'd put it in A tier. But honestly, I've never played it. So I can't rate it accurately to my thing. I can't. I was never a big Metroid guy. And with that, I will say, I never played Metroid Prime 2 either. I thought I put both these and never played. Actually, I think these are some of the only 2 games I've never played. But I feel like they're so iconic, I needed to put them in here. I know everyone loves them, but I never played them. I've never been a huge Metroid guy. Now we get to the original Super Monkey Ball. Now, here's the thing about Super Monkey Ball. Is Super Monkey Ball 2 improved on what Super Monkey Ball had, I feel like, in every single way possible. So I do think Super Monkey Ball, I honestly am going to give it a B tier. I'm going to give it a B tier. I think, again, it's a great game. If you told me I had to play the OG Super Monkey Ball, I'm not mad at all. I think the OG Super Monkey Ball is great. I think it's great. I don't think it's anywhere in the likes of Super Monkey Ball 2, though. I think Super Monkey Ball 2 had better levels. I think it had better minigames. I think it had a better story. I think everything about Super Monkey Ball 2 is better. Super Monkey Ball simply paved the way for what we got in Super Monkey Ball 2, which was a masterpiece. An absolute masterpiece. Very little could probably be improved upon about Super Monkey Ball 2. About Super Monkey Ball 2. I just slurred so hard there. Now, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Everyone knows about Melee. Best-selling game of all time on the GameCube. A game that we've seen grow and grow in esports over time. We have some of the best players like Zane, Mango, M2K, Armada, Hungrybox, some of the coolest pros I think in games. That's why I think it deserves an S tier. I do really think that Melee deserves an S tier. I do think it's just objectively the greatest game on the GameCube. It's hard to doubt that. I never even got super good at Melee, but it's so good. Melee's so good. It's a game that I think will never ever fade. I think Melee is just going to be around forever. Melee has one of the greatest communities ever. People love Melee, and for good reason too. Melee is such a fantastic game. I feel like there's not much I can say that really even gives Melee its credibility. Melee is just great, and it absolutely deserves an S tier, no doubt. Next, we have Mario Superstar Baseball, another sport game. I think Mario sports games are generally pretty good. I think Mario Superstar Baseball is a very good game. I actually really like it. I think Mario Superstar Sluggers was really good too. Sluggers for the Wii was really good, but we're not worrying about the Wii games right now. Superstar Baseball. Superstar Baseball was absolute. It was great. It was great. I think it was a great game. I think it's super fun. I don't think it deserves an A tier though. I do think Superstar Baseball goes in B tier here. While I think there's a lot of good memories, a lot of good stuff with Superstar Baseball, I don't think that there's anything absolutely magical about Superstar Baseball. It's a Mario Baseball game. I feel like you're going to get what you get out of a Mario Baseball game. You know, you got everyone's like superpowers and stuff. The story mode's pretty fun. It's a fun game, but to put it in the likes of like things like Animal Crossing and Crystal Chronicles, I don't think so. I would easily every day rather play AC and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles over Mario Baseball. Again, absolutely love Mario Baseball. I think it's great, but I don't think it's up there in the likes. I think it's pretty fitting at B tier. All right, so now we got Mario Kart Double Dash. Arguably, I think one of the greatest Mario Karts. I feel like when people think of Mario Kart, I feel like some of the greatest ones, my personal favorite is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, honestly. I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is fantastic. Probably my favorite Mario Kart. Double Dash, absolutely up there, though. The originality of Double Dash, having 2 people, it's great. It's so good. Some of the stages on Double Dash are fantastic. I feel like a lot of people love DS, and I kind of feel like I'm starting to see a lot of people love Wii as well. Mario Kart Wii is, like, really cool. The tech and shit that people use in Mario Kart Wii is, like, out of this world. It's insanity. It's absolute insanity. Double Dash is a hard one. I'm not gonna lie. Double Dash is a hard one to rate. Do I put it in S tier up with some of the greats? I kind of feel like I should. But could it go in A tier? I do feel like it could be fitting in A tier as well. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to be throwing out S tiers at everything. You know what I mean, man? I don't know. It's like, the thing about this is I feel like I could live without Mario Kart Double Dash. I generally do feel like I could live without Mario Kart Double Dash. But Mario Kart Double Dash, I think it might be number 2 for me. I think it might be my number 2 favorite Mario Kart. So I think we're gonna give it an S tier. I think it deserves an S tier for sure. But it's definitely the bottom of the S tier, if anything. I think bottom of S tier. It's fantastic. It's absolutely goated. But I think Double Dash deserves I think it deserves S tier. I think honestly though, I think Double Dash is barely making the cut. I think it's barely making the cut. But I think it's up there with some of the greats. I do think it's up there with some of the greats. Next, we got probably arguably... Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Wind Waker. Or I guess the 3D Zeldas in general. All the 3D Zeldas are so good. The Zelda series is so good. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild. Every single one is fantastic. My personal favorite is probably Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild's a phenomenal game. Absolutely phenomenal game. Wind Waker's up there, though. Wind Waker's up there, though. I might be like number 2. I think... it's so hard, man. Some of these games are so good. It's hard to know where to put them. I kind of feel like Wind Waker, maybe it's an A tier. It feels really... it's tough, man. It's tough, man. Where do we put Wind Waker is the question. I don't want to give out too many S tiers. I feel like Wind Waker might deserve an A tier. I think it's absolutely goated. I think Wind Waker's fantastic. I do think if it was missing, though, it would suck. Wind Waker's so good. It might be number 2 for me on the 3D Zelda tier list, honestly. But things like Twilight Princess are really good. Skyward Sword's really good. Breath of the Wild's fantastic, and I feel like if that was missing, Zelda would be okay. I think Wind Waker's good at S tier. Although I'm kind of doing these, I'm not really putting these in order. I would say Wind Waker probably deserves to be at the top of A tier, though. Now we got Pikmin 2. Pikmin 2 is another fantastic game. Now, all these games on Gamecube, I picked some of the greatest games. So all these games are going to be super good, except for things like Mario Golf, Toadstool Tour. We already went over that. Pikmin 2 is another fantastic game, I think. I think it really added on to what Pikmin did well in a lot of ways. Like, the boss is really good. We got like purple and white Pikmin, which were super cool. At first, to be honest, when I was younger, I didn't love the money system. How we needed to collect 10,000, whatever they were called, 10,000 money to, repair our ship and pay off the debt and blah, 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 blah. But as I got older and played it more, I think the money system was fine. And the lore that Pikmin 2 has, actually, with Louis as like this weird like king bug, I think it's amazing. And that's why I honestly think Pikmin 2 probably deserves an A. I can confidently say Pikmin 2 deserves an A here. I think it's great. I think everything about Pikmin 2 is fantastic. And I think it improved on what Pikmin had won in a lot of ways. I'm going to give it an A. I'm absolutely going to give it an A. I think it's super worth it there. Now, Mario Party is where it gets a little bit tricky. 4 and 6, I remember the most. I feel like 5 and 7, I might even put in the never played. I think I played 5 for a second and 7 maybe for a second. I don't remember 5 and 7 at all. And because I don't remember 5 and 7, I'm going to put them in the never played category. I think I'm going to put 5 and 7 in the never played category because if I did play them, it was for probably less than an hour at most, and I don't remember anything about them. I can't tell you any of the minigames. I think 4 and 6 are really good. If I had to pick, though, if I really had to pick, I do think 4 has some classic minigames, but I think overall, I'm going to put 4 to B, and I'm going to put 6 at an A. I have a lot more nostalgia, and I really like 6 with the whole Sun and the Moon thing a lot more than A. If I had to pick, I'd rather play 6 overall. I think 4 is another really good pick on the Mario parties. Now we got Super Mario Strikers. Now, I think a lot of people fondly remember Super Mario Strikers. The Wii one was not quite as good, but I think the Wii one, Super Mario Strikers Charged, was also a very good game. The Strikers OG was probably coming on top. This is a game I can always come back to. I think it's super, super good. Playing it with no items, no like supercharges is also really, really fun. It's a hard tier list to go. I do feel like it's on the verge of S tier. Is it an S tier game though? I think it might be, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm honestly not 100% sure. No, I think rethinking it, I think it goes in the likes of A. I honestly think it goes in the likes of A. Probably like, yeah, I think it goes in the likes of A. Again, these are in no particular order. I think Super Mario Strikers is a wonderful, amazing game, but I think it goes in the likes of A, honestly. I don't think it's up there with some of the greats. I don't think it's up there with some of the greats. I think there's a lot of super duper A tier games in the GameCube game tier in the list. I don't think it goes in A though. I don't think it goes in S. I think it's a confident pick in A. Yeah, I think so. Now we got WarioWare. Now WarioWare, I've played more of the Wii one. I played a lot more of the Wii WarioWare, right? GameCube one I've played a bit. And I think WarioWare is a good, really good series. WarioWare is great for when you're playing with friends. Super, super good for mini games and stuff. I do feel like I would rather play most of these games though. And when you're really putting the games up against each other, that's where I think a tier list really comes into play. Because I'd rather play a lot of these games over WarioWare, I'm gonna put WarioWare at a B. Now, I think it's gonna upset a lot of people. I think a lot of people are gonna go, dude, WarioWare is amazing. And look, the minigames are just super original. They're super funny. You can do so much stuff in the minigames. Why would you put WarioWare in B? I don't think it's as good though. I don't think it's as good as these. I just don't think it is. So I think it deserves a B. Now we got Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door is probably one of the greatest games I ever played, honestly. Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door is so good. And I can easily put an S tier, no doubt. No hesitation. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, TTYD is absolutely an S tier. And if you disagree with me, you're just wrong. This game had so much character. This game had so much personality. The writing was funny. The story was great. It was a good length, good paced game. And it was just so good. Anyone I ever talked to just knows that Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door was just the pinnacle of Paper Mario. And I don't know why they ever kept going down this other path of what Paper Mario was. They've done so much random stuff with Paper Mario and they just ruined it. We all want a Paper Mario RPG. It's the best kind of game they can make. And yet they just don't do it. They make things like Color Splash and just all this other random stuff, man. It's just Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. It's an OG. It's an absolute classic. It's a stellar game that I think everyone should play in their life. It's so good and it absolutely deserves S tier. Super Mario Sunshine is a bit of a tough one. It is. I'm a bit iffy on it. I'm a bit iffy on it right now. Super Mario Sunshine was probably one of my favorite games of all time as a kid. I think it's super good. It was a bit different than Super Mario 64. The controls were pretty smooth, I think, overall. And as a GameCube game, a new 3D Mario, I think it was great. I think the story was good. I think a lot of the mechanics are cool and interesting with the FLUDD and whatnot, but it's hard. There's games like Super Mario 64, and there's games like Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey is insane. Super Mario Odyssey is easily the best 3D Mario ever. And putting up against games like that, it's hard to say. Because Super Mario Odyssey, I think, is easily better. Some of the mechanics are weird. I know a lot of people didn't love the mechanics and the way that FLUDD is used in Super Mario Sunshine. I have gotten 120 shines in this, and it's a tough one to pick. It's a really tough one to pick. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling. I think Sunshine deserves an A tier, though. I think it deserves an A tier pick. I don't think it goes there in the all-time greats of GameCube games. In the S tier, I don't think it does. I know some of you might be thinking it absolutely deserves that top spot. Listen, I think Super Mario Sunshine's great. I think it's super good. Could I live without it? I think I could. I think it kind of is in that same era of Galaxy. I don't know, it's like, I feel like Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Odyssey are the most iconic 3D Marios. And I feel like Galaxy, and I never played Galaxy 2, but I feel like Galaxy and Super Mario Sunshine are also amazing games, but they don't stand out as much as some of these other games, like Melee and TTYD and Monkey Ball 2, in my opinion. So that's why I've got to give it an A. I gotta give it an A. I think it's absolutely good. Definitely not B tier. B is a little bit low for it, but yeah, it's just too good. Now, Luigi's Mansion is a bit of a sleeper pick, right? Luigi's Mansion is probably one of the best-selling games of all time. It was one of the release titles, I believe, of the GameCube. It was the first game I ever played. It was the first game I ever played ever. My brother and my dad and I played it when I was super young. And fun fact, it used to scare the crap out of me because there was ghosts, and I was like 4 years old, and I was terrified of Luigi's Mansion, but I loved playing it. I love video games so much that I stood by my brother and my dad playing it and watched them. It was great. Now, some of you guys think Luigi's Mansion, maybe it's not the same. But Luigi's Mansion, the OG, I do think the OG Luigi's Mansion's easy the best. Out of Luigi's Mansion and 2 and 3, I think this OG's one's the best. Now, some of you might be thinking, yeah, maybe like a high B, maybe an A tier. I do think Luigi's Mansion goes in S. Probably not. I would say probably the lowest out of the S tiers if I had to pick. The characters, the ghosts in Luigi's Mansion have so much character though. Something that I think they really failed on in the higher Luigi's Mansion games, in the newer ones. I don't think they gave the ghosts the characters that the game really needed. Luigi's Mansion was so good. The way that you can collect the money and make that mansion yours later on and have it become an A tier mansion is sick. King Boo is so good. It's everything about Luigi's Mansion I think is just perfect. It's a perfect length game. It's not too long. Oh, everything about Luigi's Mansion is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I do think Luigi's Mansion deserves an S tier game. I do think it deserves it. Now we got Pikmin. We got the OG Pikmin. We already ranked Pikmin 2 at an A tier. I think Pikmin 2 kind of improved on what everything the original Pikmin had to offer. Because of that, I'm going to give Pikmin a B tier. I'm going to give Pikmin a B tier. I think Pikmin is a great game. I love the game series. I love 1, 2, and 3. I think all of them are great. Pikmin 1 just was kind of the stepping stone for everything that Pikmin 2 and 3 had to offer. I think the greatest thing about the original Pikmin is the plot. I think the plot's great. I love that, like, your ship, your dolphin, your SS Dolphin gets hit, and you gotta go collect those parts so you can leave it again, and you find these little Pikmin guys to help you out. I feel like the Pikmin 2 story is not quite as strong, but everything else in Pikmin 2 really carries it to that A tier level. While the original Pikmin, it doesn't do quite as well. It's a little bit shorter. There's not quite as much to do. There's less Pikmin. So that's why I'm giving Pikmin a B tier. I think I can confidently give Pikmin a B tier here. All right, now we got Pokémon XD. Now, Pokémon XD is kind of like a sister game to Pokémon Colosseum. Now, Pokémon XD is a game I actually never really played. My brother played it. I also barely watched him play XD. I think a lot of people love Pokemon XD. It's really, really good. I think it's really, really good, but I've actually never played it through, and I definitely didn't sit through my brother playing it. So I can't really rate it fairly. So I gotta put Pokemon XD in never played. Now we got the other game, the other side, Pokemon Colosseum. Pokemon Colosseum, I want to say it's an underrated game, because I feel like I don't really hear that many people talk about it. I think Pokemon Colosseum was a very interesting game and a really cool take with, like, a lot of that, like, I forget exactly what it's called, but this Pokemon were, like, kind of consumed by this, like, weird purple aura thing. You had to go cleanse them. You got them picked up. It had some fantastic songs. Pokemon Colosseum, I do think is a really good game. It's a hard one to pick. I think it's a classic. I do think it's a classic, and I think it deserves A tier. It's hard. I almost want to put it at B tier. My brother played more of it than me, but I sat through and played a lot of Pokemon Colosseum with him. I think Pokemon Colosseum is a great, great game. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I almost want to put it in B tier, but I think it's barely making A tier. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's barely making A tier here. I'm not gonna lie. We got three more. Pac-Man World 2. Now, Pac-Man World 2 is a game that maybe a lot of people didn't play. It's a game I really loved as a little kid. I haven't played in a long time, so maybe I have some nostalgia glasses on. I don't think it's absolutely fantastic. I think I can confidently put Pac-Man World 2 at a B tier. I think it was a game I had a lot of fun with in my early childhood. I think if I was to go back and play it, I don't know if I'd enjoy it as much, but I think there's a lot of cool things of it. I kind of like the 3D Pac-Man experience. I think it's really, really cool, but I do think I can confidently give it a B tier here. Kirby Air Ride's a tough one. Kirby Air Ride is a tough one. I absolutely love Kirby Air Ride. I think Kirby Air Ride is really, really good. Really, really fun. I love this game. I played a lot of it with my friend. We completed all of City Trial and all of Top Ride at one point. Super, super fun. You could do things in City Trial, like we used to play tag a lot, which was fun. You know, you go in the volcano. We got all the special ships. Kirby Air Ride's good. I do kind of feel like Kirby Air Ride doesn't have a lot to offer, though. I think me, and everyone else included, is a little bit sad that Nintendo has never made a Kirby Air Ride 2. I feel like Kirby Air Ride built a base for something that could have been so much greater and so much cooler. It was kind of like a Mario Kart version of, or Kirby version of Mario Kart with Kirby Air Ride, but they didn't really do that much with it. It's hard. Part of me wants to put it in B tier. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wants to put it high B tier. I feel like it's a really good game. I feel like the issue with Kirby Air Ride is you can't play it for super duper long. I don't feel like it has super high replay value. I feel like I'm gonna get clouded by nostalgia glasses and put it in A tier, but I feel like whenever we play it again, I feel like it doesn't last too super long. I'm gonna put it at high B tier. I'm gonna do it. Some of you might argue with me and think it deserves higher. I don't think Kirby Air Ride has a ton to offer. I love this game though. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love this game. I don't think it has so much to offer though. I think they could have added a lot more if they did it in their game. I think it was really good for the first one in the series. That shouldn't knock any points off for the original, but I do think it deserves a B tier. High B tier at that. But yeah, I do think it deserves a B tier. Now we got one last game left. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which I always used to think it was called Sonic Adventure Battle 2, but it's Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Another absolutely fantastic game. This game, I feel like, is iconic in so many people's lives. This game is so good, and just the chows. I feel like chows alone, the way you can take care of chows in this game is so good. It's so good. And I do think that it deserves an S tier. I think it's an S tier game. I think Sonic Adventure 2 is an S tier game. Absolutely. There's so much to do. There's like hero story mode. There's dark story mode. There's like the combined story mode. There's the chows. There's a lot of stuff to do in Sonic Adventure 2. I would say it's on the cusp though of being an A, but I do think it goes in S tier. It's probably the weakest S tier in this list. I do think Melee's up there. I think SMB2 is up there. Double Dash and TTYD for sure. These two are probably the weakest. But I think there's our list. Now, if I missed any games, please let me know in the comments or in the chat. I would love to know if I missed any of your GameCube games. These are some of the GameCube games that I played, that I loved as a child, that I grew up on going on. So I decided to rate them today to see some of you guys' reactions. I think I'm pretty confident in this tier list, though. I do think I'm pretty confident in this tier list. I think it's good. I think it's good and fair. Some of you might disagree with me, but I absolutely think that this tier list is... It's 100% right. It's 100% right.